Good morning, it's Mark Leibovitz, and it's Monday, November 14th, and this is a Leibovitz VR tutorial here on Tradestation. You're looking at the Trading App Store page where you can sign up for the Leibovitz Volume Reversal. There is a 1-month free trial offered. It is $95 a month. It does include 3 versions of the Volume Reversal. We use the sequential on these videos, which post all positive and negative VRs, but also include in the package is a directional version which filters out repetitive VRs, and the 2-day version, which is based on the premise that following a negative or positive volume reversal, you tend to get movement in the direction of the volume reversal for a couple of trading days. Meanwhile, let's jump to the Tradestation charts here. This is the screen that I look at. On the top left, you've got the VR sequential, which is what we're going to focus on here. Here's an example of a directional window, and here's the 2-day window. I would request that you go to the App Store website, and there is a video there which explains these. On the bottom right quadrant here, we have our radar screen, so you can add any stocks you want. Here on this particular screen here is the S&P 100, and meanwhile you can add any groups or individual stocks you like, and it does post negative and positive VRs as they are formed, which is a great advantage of having that radar screen. Here we're looking at the monthly chart of the United States Oil USO ETF. As you can see here, way back here on July 2014, a big negative volume reversal was formed. I try to tie it in with the 533 stochastic, as probably most of you know. So when you have a declining 533 and you get a negative VR, it's good confirmation. And on a multi-month basis, you can see there's no reason to be bullish yet, but we're probably now experiencing end of the month, end of the year tax loss selling, so there could be a trading opportunity coming up here, but ideally we would want to see the stochastic rising and a positive volume reversal, being formed. So let's look at other time frames here. I do have a lot of questions about how the VR responds in different time frames. You have a choice of all these time frames, so you have to test them all accordingly. Here on the weekly chart, we had some Leibovitz negative volume reversals in the last few weeks, and you did have confirmation with the declining 533 stochastic. Way back here, there was a positive VR, so you had a little bit of a trade here in August for about a week or so, but the stochastic soon turned down. But there was a little trade there for about a week, I suppose. But looking at that monthly chart, you certainly knew that you were fighting the bigger trend. So I don't think that was a trade that I did not take, and I certainly wouldn't recommend it. On the daily chart, we had negative VR here. Most recent was on November 25th. We've been in decline ever since. You can see there are little trades along the way. There was a positive VR here. This was on November 20th, and we had a bounce for a couple days here, which follows the theory of that 2-day rule and the 2-day version of the VR. So that's sort of neat. And you had a rising stochastic there. Positive VR back here on October 28th. Nice 2-3 day play to the upside with a rising stochastic. So there is some short-term trades here, but primarily I want to show you the negative confirmation, and let's wait to see if we get a positive in here. That, of course, would afford a trading opportunity. So thank you for checking in. I do want to remind you that I do host a Wall Street Raw radio program Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern on the Genesis Communication Network, so you can tune in, gcnlive.com. If you miss it, there are archives available for the radio show. If you want more information on my services, I do offer the Leibovitz VR newsletters, leibovitzvrnewsletters.com, or you can access it via the URL vrtrader.com to learn more about the services that I provide. We're going to be taking a little bit of break with the holidays coming up, so we'll probably talk to you after the beginning of the year, and appreciate you checking in here at the tutorial.